Hello and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We're back again. We're talking more TNA wrestling shenanigans. Today, somewhat of an offshoot. Mainly, we're talking about the concept again of, everyone's going to WWE, everyone's WWE bound. The whole idea of even if somebody's good enough or, on the indies to be in WWE, should they really necessarily need to be in WWE? In my opinion is they don't necessarily need to be in WWE. Same with anywhere and everywhere, whatever. That is their decision to make, to say, hey, am I going somewhere? What am I going to do? Why am I going to do that? Etc. Secondarily, I guess a little bit of news here-ish, I guess, kind of. Well, it is news. I know it's sort of old news at this point, probably, especially since I will not be able to post this episode out until a little bit later on today, or whatever, but still. Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards have both re-signed with the company. I haven't got much details on the length of the contract. I'm sure it might be out there, but I'm not really going into details too much about this in regard to that re-signing. I can't remember exactly when Alicia joined the company, like as her most recent joining, that she's been there for a while. She has been there for a while, like 5 or 6 years, something like that. I think something like that. I'm not too sure. Eddie's been there for over a decade at this point. He is one of the most tenured people now, continuously tenured people now on the roster. I think Rosemary is just behind him. And he is up there with Eric Young, Abyss, AJ Styles, and a few other people as one of the longest continuous wrestlers. I think EY as well, and a few other people. I'm not going to go through everyone. I'm going to miss a whole bunch of people. So I'm just going to leave it there. You get the idea. He's been there. We all know he's been there for a long time. But this sort of brought something up there. And I wanted to discuss it, this idea again. This is something that, does work now kind of with the WWE TNA crossovers happening. That people who do want to go to WWE, or people who say, hey, we'll bring you over and we'll pay you well. You don't need to sign with us or whatever else it is. You can just come over and make an appearance or whatever it is. Hey, well, that's not them. It is them, maybe re-debuting or debuting in WWE in a sense. But it's not them leaving TNA and going to WWE. Now, yes, people can leave TNA, like we've seen with Jordan Grace and many people before. And I even said this before in another episode, that at least now this relationship, it gives something to TNA. It's not a lot of stuff right now. But, the relationship has been building, and I'm happy to see that it is building, slowly but surely. But it's just one of those things. It's really tough, again, they just actually announced a partnership with the NWA, and they just literally sent Natty over there, Natalya Neidhart, which is crazy to me. You've had this relationship for, legitimately for, 3 months with TNA. You've just announced this partnership with the NWA. And you, they just did one with with Noah, rather, sorry. There a few months back. I think this was actually last year at some point, with Nakamura going over to Noah to wrestle a few matches and that. They've had, Noah and now New Japan have had bigger stars appear on their, will be having bigger stars appearing, because she hasn't appeared yet, but whatever, appearing on their shows than what WWE has given to TNA in the last 3 months. and in the last year, since they had an informal deal or an informal relationship. So yeah, again, it doesn't feel great, and again, saying you like WWE, like they finally did come to bat a little bit there, with some of the stuff that they finally brought Femi over. They've brought the NXT Tag Team Champions over. It's starting to feel like, oh yeah, we're gonna actually, maybe give you a little bit more stuff, and it gives out like it's not just to say we're gonna give you more stuff. It actually gives people more exposure on another show, because if you say, oh, let's build this story between Moose and Oba, well, what's that? We don't have enough time to really build this story between Moose and Oba because we can't get them in the ring on NXT because we're doing so many other things over here or whatever it is. Hey, what's that? You guys need more guys over there to do some stuff with. You guys are starving for people to be in your main events or whatever it is. Hey, we'll send Oba over for a couple of shows or whatever it is, and that'll, help build this story, and it'll build it on both shows. That is good. And like I said before, I think that they're a little bit greedy, WWE, in saying we're going to take the Hardys match and the Oba match. It's like, you couldn't give us the Oba match? Like, huh? I get that to some extent, but it is a bit silly, It is a bit silly to be like, oh, we're just going to take all the matches that are like either normal tag team matches or, singles one-on-one matches, not, 6-man tags or whatever else. And I do think that, like traditional tag team matches and singles matches are the matches that most people will pay to see. And I mean, we are on the road to WrestleMania, we are on the road to Rebellion, and we are on the road to Slammiversary at some point as well. So we've, it's funny to, I actually can't recall, because it is a long way away, realistically. When Mania is. So let's have a look. Doesn't say the event, just saying the actual show. So it'll be WrestleMania 41 this year, right? I think. History, maybe? No. Events, that's it. Here we go. That one's, this is this year? 41 this year. So, April. Jeez. Okay, it's earlier than what I thought. It's April 19th. Okay, cool. I think the main events have been set there for that. So, oh yeah. I'm not really going to go through. Oh, got a bit of a spoiler there, I guess. I think that's actually probably going to be interesting now, but we'll wait and see. So we're in March now. Yeah. So we've got a full month and a bit to build to that. NXT Standard delivers just before that. Elimination Chamber's already gone, hasn't it? When's Roadblock? Vengeance Day. That's not right. I can't find it. Let's see. Because it should show you the pay-per-views network events. Where are we? 2014. Jeez, 16. Got to go all the way back. Ooh, here we go. Why is Roadblock not showing up? It's Vengeance Day and then Stand and Deliver. Maybe it's a special. I'm not sure. She should just show me that. Network events, television show. I want to find out. Let's see, because this is what I'm trying to find. It's a television special. Okay, all right. Which is weird. It didn't show it up. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's on 11th of March. So that's very soon. Sacrifice is on the 14th. So like 3 days after. So where was April? Whoops. Not yeah, 19th of April and 20th of April. So Rebellion. I think Rebellion's close to that. April 27th. So it's like 7 days, like a week after. So then, yeah, okay. All right. Anyway, so yeah, like back to what we were talking about. But anyway, just thinking about where things are at and where things are heading. Because that means like these are the times. Well, we're already in one of them. And then we've got, like I said, Stand and Deliver, which it's really weird to have like two specials kind of close to each other, I think. They should have just been like, hey, we've got, you've got that pay-per-view coming up. It's like, what are you doing? Why not build things to that? I think maybe they've got something else planned, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. And then you got Mania. So I kind of feel like as well, like with WrestleMania, like if you're gonna highlight NXT, or I think they should highlight NXT. That's my thing, because it should be the third brand. Like, really, you should have like it's tough now that WrestleMania is 2 days. It is good now that it is 2 days because it's no longer a 30-hour show or whatever the bloody hell it is. But I think you should somehow find space to at least put some NXT stuff on WrestleMania, or start to try to do it. Because if you start to say, okay, we're going to allow NXT matches, or matches that can happen in NXT, happen at WrestleMania, then what's this? Now you've started to say, well, besides like maybe the Royal Rumble or whatever, like the cross-branded shows, and besides NXT having its own thing, it's like, well, no, we really need to integrate it with the main roster. Like, we need to at least try to start integrating it. We need to have it at the Rumble, we need to have it at Mania, and then we need to start making it cross over with our regular pay-per-views, like every single month or whatever it is. Or PLEs, again, whatever, I don't care what they're called. But yeah, like, you can't then you can actually start saying, hey, wait a minute. Well, now that we're letting NXT people come to the main roster, at Mania, at certain events, or whatever it is, or regularly, now what's that? Hey, TNA is working with NXT, so wait a minute. Now we can have TNA wrestlers on the main roster. Now the partnership isn't just with TNA and NXT. Now the relationship is, TNA and WWE, like proper Raw, SmackDown, whatever else, Speed, I don't know what else there is, etc. And then you can start saying, okay, well, now we can start also sending some of our main roster people down to TNA or whatever, off to TNA to wrestle. Because again, I think we will try. This is, I guess, the main driving point of this conversation. It shouldn't just be WWE is the only destination, for a wrestler to say, hey, I'm getting in this business and I want to go to WWE. If you want to go to WWE, absolutely perfectly fine. But there's so many people that go, I want to go to WWE. I want to go to WWE, blah, blah, blah. And you work and you work and you work, but you never get there. There's lots of people that never get the opportunity to go to WWE for one reason or another or whatever it is. But, that is what happens. These guys never get their chance. So, that's unfortunate. But again, that is what happens. So again, saying, hey, I'm gonna be sad that I never went to WWE. Yeah, sure, you're gonna be sad, but you've got to say, hey, you know what? AEW picked me up, or TNA picked me up, and hey, they actually treated me well, whatever it was, and they gave me a good career there. I can't be that mad that I never went to WWE. It's the one last little goal that I do have, or bucket list item, or whatever else it is, main event WrestleMania, or whatever it is, that sort of thing. But again, so sad, too bad. In a sense, you've got to be able to say, well, you know what, it just didn't happen. You've got to be okay with not being able to go to WWE. You can't be too obsessed with saying, that was my dream. You're saying, oh, yeah, that was my dream, or whatever else it was, to manifest things, still potentially, or whatever. But still, you can't be too mad about it. And you can't, same with wrestling fans, you can't be mad that somebody has never come to WWE, or whatever it is, or barely ever come to WWE, and is probably never coming to WWE. Not on a full-time or a whatever, or a real basis, saying, hey, we're only going to see them for a few months, or whatever it is, or a few weeks, or whatever it is, or maybe just a month, or whatever it is. Hey, well, if I really want to see that wrestler, hey, you know what? I know where I can tune in to watch them, wherever they are, like NWA, again, Noah. And it's funny to say that WWE has actually sent over somebody to Noah, and I can't remember if anyone from Noah's come over to WWE. And now, Natty's going over to not New Japan, the NWA, and it's well, are they going to send somebody over, from the NWA? Kind of weird. And again, NWA has been in the pits for a long time, and I feel bad for them in some ways, and I think that's leadership issues. In many ways, because again, yes, you've got to present a different product and a unique product and a product that has its own identity away from WWE. But the thing is, WWE is, again, unfortunately, or whatever you want to say, the thing that everyone knows wrestling or sports entertainment or whatever you want to call it for. So again, yes, you've got to offer something different, but again, you're really only going to get the more hardcore fans for the most part, or the fans that are just super curious. So you've got to offer things that are, familiar enough or whatever for them to go, this person that I've seen before in WWE, or that's a big name or a big deal, had been a big deal in WWE, or was kind of in WWE, but they weren't really a big deal, like Nick Nemeth or whoever, is here. And even then, you're trying to scrape the barrel in a sense, because still people will go, unless I'm really interested in Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth, whatever. It's like, am I going to really follow him down there into the NWA? Maybe not. Maybe I'll check it out, some clips or something like that. That might be the extent of it. You can try to make as much noise as what you want, but again, will that work? It's really tough. It's really tough to make that noise, and to even this is big news for them, but it's the same for them. I'm not just talking about TNA here. I'm talking about the guys that are over there in the NWA, because I don't know a lot of the people that are in the NWA, but I know that there are a few people that are in the NWA, at least. So for those people that are there, again, people saying, "Oh, this person's probably talented enough to be in WWE. They deserve to be in WWE." Fair enough. That's great, but no more. If it's up to it's up to them or up to whoever to say, "Oh, yes, we'll give you an opportunity if you want an opportunity." Like whoever's in charge of booking talent, or scouting talent, or whatever else is there. That's up to them, not up to you know us or the fans or whoever to say, we'd like, if you say, "Oh yeah, we'd like to see this person in this place," but you should never expect anything. Like, the wrestling world doesn't owe you anything. If somebody says, "Nah, I'm happy where I'm at," or whatever it is, it is what it is. Like, I would say some things about, like, the NWA, especially a few years ago, when a few people kind of left because, like, Billy kind of put his foot in his mouth and said some silly things that he probably shouldn't have said. But it is what it is. Like, a few people stayed and they just said, "Hey, we're not really comfortable with that," or whatever. We're here too, and if you're gonna disrespect us, what are we doing? Like, come on. Why are we working for you besides just the money if you're gonna disrespect us? They had to have some. I think some people had to have some serious words backstage with Billy after that, and reconsider their, like, full on relationships. And some people just said, "Hey, fuck you, we quit," effectively, or whatever. "You can't treat us like this," or "You can't say that about us," or if you think that way, then hey, I'm out. You don't want to respect me, and you don't want to respect what I've done here, and what we try to do and what we try to give you. Hey, well, bye. Which, in a way, it's fair enough. I understand. But again, kudos to anyone who did stay, or whatever it is. I hope that, and I don't know because I don't really follow it very much. But again, I hope that they're being treated well. I hope that they're, things have changed, or at least a little bit, in terms of, like, that sort of stuff and whatnot. Because again, it's not fun to have somebody, or not good to have somebody there, like, and it's like, not like having the same level of somebody like Vince McMahon, like, who's just groping people left, right, and center, or whatever it is, or whatnot. It's like, yeah, but that's still not good. Like, not a good look either. Not good public perception there. So it's one of those things. But yeah, like, I think again, anyone, from any company, it is the same for somebody. If somebody says, hey, we need this person in TNA, or they need that person in AEW, or whatever it is. Maybe, but same thing for, AEW being a destination, or TNA being a destination. Is not normally seen as a destination, but AEW is seen more as a destination per se. Um, to at least some fans. To me, TNA is a good destination, but you know, a lot of people don't think that. In some ways, they think it's a good destination for some people, or for some, especially female wrestlers, um, or it was seen as. But again, it's just one of those things of saying, well, if everyone's going to WWE or everyone's going to AEW, it's like, well, if somebody leaves WWE or AEW, it's like, well, why would I go to WWE, or like go back to WWE because I just left? If I just left WWE, same with like if you left the AEW, it's like then your options are what? Like if you want to still be on that fairly elite level of wrestling promotions, WWE, like if you were in AEW, or AEW if you were in WWE, and then TNA, and then maybe like New Japan or whatever. That's like some of your like top options, and then it really trails off. Um, so it's like, yeah, like, am I going to go to WWE or whatever? Do they want me? Who knows? Like again, did I make a big enough impression in where I was before? How many offers have I got? Or whatever. And like maybe you didn't get very many offers, or maybe you did. Who knows? But again, like maybe you'll get offers now because hey, your contract's up, or people know you're now available, or whatever it is, and they might be like, hey, call us. We're interested. And that's fair enough. Again, too, like if somebody says, "Hey, well, let's at least see what they have to offer," fair enough. Like, might not be my decision. I might wait to see, hey, is somebody else going to come along and offer me something? And again, it's like that's the thing of saying that's TNA's problem, because again, it is very tough to get that thought out there sometimes of saying, hey, at least offer this person something. I'm sure like sometimes they do offer them something. Some of these people that get released, like Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints now. I think Ricky Saints is actually pretty easy to remember, so I think I'm going to remember that one because it's pretty similar to his last gimmick name or whatever. I think it's similar to his real name actually, but whatever. I don't care. Whatever. But yeah, it wasn't like it's not. It shouldn't be a foregone conclusion that these people are going somewhere anywhere. Like there's lots of options for wrestlers to go somewhere, and if somebody sits back and says, hey, wait a minute, I just got out of the NWA or whatever it is, or whoever, whatever. Am I going to go to AEW? Well, their roster's pretty stacked, and so is WWE's. Where am I going to fit in? If I go to WWE, I'm probably going to go to NXT first. If I go to AEW, I'm probably going to go to Ring of Honor or something like that first. Like for a main run, and then what's going to happen after that? If I go to TNA, at least I'm on the main show. Like, maybe not every week, but I'm on the main show. There's no B show or like there's Explosion, but there's no like B show really. Though I think like Explosion sometimes should be a B show, make it more of a proper show rather than just like showing you the dark match that didn't get televised or whatever. But still, whatever. And then some random old matches or whatever it is. Even though they can be really good matches, but still. Yeah, whatever. But still, yeah, I need to get that out there. And we need to keep pushing that agenda of saying, WWE isn't the only destination for people, or it shouldn't be, you know. And people can stay where they are if they really want, and if they're treated well, you know. Obviously, if they're being paid lots of money and they're not being treated well, that's a bit different. Because, hey, you know, you shouldn't be treating people like that. And if you are, then something needs to change and something needs to happen. But anyway, guys, I think that's it for this one. Hope you guys have enjoyed. You guys get the idea, and hopefully I will see you guys in another one.